Hey, welcome back. Today, we're not just going to talk about the brain, we're going to get our hands dirty and actually start shaping it. We're skipping the heavy theory and jumping straight into simple, real-world exercises you can start using today to build a mind that's sharper and more dialed in. So, let's do it.
So let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like you're just going through the motions? You know that feeling where your daily routine is so locked in that your brain might as well be on cruise control? It happens to all of us. But guess what? It doesn't have to be your default setting.
And here's the really cool part. Your brain isn't some fixed, unchanging block of cement. Nope, it's this incredibly living, breathing network that's designed to constantly change, to rewire itself based on what you do and what you experience. It's literally built to adapt. And the magic behind that adaptation? It's all about these neural connections. Think of them like little pathways for your thoughts and skills. Every single time you tackle a new challenge, you're physically building new roads in your brain. It's a simple but amazing idea. A challenge, any challenge, literally builds you a better brain. Okay, so how do we actually start building these new connections? Well, we're going to start by messing with your eyes a bit, shattering those comfortable visual patterns, and forcing your brain to see the world in a whole new way.
Our first stop is something called the Schultz table. Now, it looks like a pretty simple grid of numbers, right? But don't let that fool you. This thing is a serious workout for your brain, designed to train your focus and expand your peripheral vision.
Okay, the challenge itself seems straightforward, but it's tougher than it looks. You stare at that number right in the middle, and without moving your eyes, you have to find every other number, 1 through 25, in order. The goal? Do it all in under 30 seconds. Now, this isn't just about getting faster at a game. When you do this, you're actually retraining your brain to process visual information way more efficiently.
All right, that was all about speed and focus. Now we're going to hit the brain with a different kind of challenge. We're going to create a little bit of healthy confusion. Look at the screen. I don't want you to read the word. I want you to say the color of the text out loud. Go for it. The answer is blue. Did you feel that? That tiny little pause, that hesitation? That's your brain kicking into high gear. See, that little moment of struggle is where the magic happens. It's so productive. What's going on is you're forcing two different parts of your brain to have a conversation, and you're making one override the other. The part that sees color has to shout down the part that automatically reads. That little internal conflict is a powerhouse exercise for building up things like memory and concentration. Okay, let's get physical. You know, that link between our mind and our body isn't a one-way street. It goes both ways. And by shaking up our physical routines, we can actually spark some serious growth inside the brain. Just think for a second about all those tiny little automatic things you do every single day. The things you don't even have to think about. Well, what if I told you that just by messing with those automatic tasks, you could turn them into a fantastic workout for your brain? See, when you break your muscle memory, you force your brain off of that lazy autopilot mode, and you make it engage, pay attention, and forge those new neural pathways. So here are a few super simple things you can try. Try signing your name, but with your eyes closed. Or try this little hand coordination puzzle. Make a peace sign with one hand and an OK symbol with the other, and then switch them back and forth as fast as you can. And of course, there's the classic. Just try brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. It feels weird, right? That's your brain working. And what's the point of all this? Well, it strengthens two really important things. Your spatial memory, which is basically your brain's internal GPS for your own body, and that fundamental mind-body connection that you need for, well, pretty much everything. All right, for our last section, let's talk about the world we live in, specifically our relationship with technology, and how it can be used to either build our brains up or, let them get a little lazy. And let's be honest, there's no denying it. Technology is amazing. GPS, calculators, contact lists, they've made our lives so much easier, and that convenience is incredible. But there's a flip side to all that convenience. When we constantly outsource these little mental jobs, we're robbing our brain of the small daily workouts it needs to stay in shape. It's kind of like never taking the stairs because there's always an elevator. Eventually, those muscles just get weak. So it really comes down to making a conscious choice. Instead of those passive, endless scrolling games, maybe pick up a Sudoku puzzle or a game of chess. Instead of grabbing your phone for 12 times 5, just do it in your head. And instead of just tapping a name to call someone, try to actually memorize a few key phone numbers. Now, let's be clear. The goal here isn't to throw your smartphone in the river. It's not about abandoning these helpful tools. It's just about shifting your first instinct. It's about choosing to use your own brain as your first go-to tool before you reach for that digital crutch.
So we've looked at visual tricks, physical rewiring, and getting back to basics. But you know what? All of these different exercises really point to one single powerful idea.
The specific exercises we talked about, they aren't magic pills. The real change, the real growth, comes from shifting your mindset. It's about getting curious and actively looking for little ways to nudge your brain out of its comfort zone every single day.
At the end of the day, it's all about making a choice. A choice to stop being a passive passenger inside your own head and to start being the architect, to actively build the brain and the reality that you want.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's just taking a new street on your way home or trying to stir your coffee with your other hand. What's one small, simple challenge you're going to give your brain today?